G'day, guys. Welcome back to another episode with Tommy Candy.
For real?
Yeah, we're starting.
I'm not even in the shot.
Well, you will be in a second. So we're me and my best mate are in Bali, and I just literally thought I'd push record. Steve was like, "What the hell?"
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess we're recording, aren't we?
I guess so.
Yeah.
You're a bit of a
Let's set up the
screen
shot.
hog.
Yeah.
There we go.
So guys, welcome. Me and Steve are in Bali, and we're here for about a week.
Don't you introduce your podcast?
No, I just say welcome to another episode of the Tommy Candy podcast, life dilemmas and dad stuff.
There it is.
Yay! And yeah, because I'm here with Steve, and I just thought, why not, get him on the podcast and let's have a chat. So for those, I think I've had you on once before, ages ago.
Years back.
Yeah, in a previous version of the podcast, and you just yapped on about how fucking rich you are.
I'm pretty sure the topic was wealth, and you asked me to talk about it.
I did, but this time, so we've known each other, me and Steve. I came to Australia when I was 8, and I met Steve when he was 8 and I was 8. I'm 6 months older than Steve, so we now know each other for 42 years.
Mm-hmm. I'm just putting "Do Not Disturb" on.
And so one of the reasons I wanted to get Steve on to the podcast was, 1, he's known me for 42 years. 2, I've known him for 42 years. And 3, we always have really fucking cool chats about life. And so there's a couple of things that me and Steve always talk about, which I wanted to talk to you on this forum about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So how are you?
Oh, mate, so good. It's been so good to catch up.
What's been your experience?
Hang on, did you say that we're in Bali?
We're in Bali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's been your experience of having a friendship for 42 years? It's pretty epic.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of, I was thinking about this when we were on the motorbike before, because we were, like when we're in Bali, we scooter everywhere. And we were actually riding, I think it was this morning, to the gym. And I actually thought about you dying. Not in a bike accident.
No.
But just I had this moment of you were in front of me. And I'm like, one day, one of us is going to die first, right? And I mean, I'm assuming, I secretly hoped it was you, because in this vision, you had died, and I was talking at your eulogy, and I had this moment where I was like, I was standing in front of everyone, and I said, you only get one Tommy Candy in your life. Because there's probably not a lot of friendships that people have that are so solidly rooted into the fucking earth that like it doesn't matter what happens. Like, I know until the end, we're gonna be mates.
Yes.
And we're more than mates, because you're an only child. So one of the reasons that we have such a strong friendship is because you don't have any other siblings. You're an only child. And so therefore,
we're like brothers.
Correct.
Yeah, and we
de
have
facto brother.
Yeah, pretty much. And we've had lots of ups and downs. Well, a few, but we always come back into each other's lives. But one thing that I really appreciate about our friendship is, even when we don't agree on something, we have a conversation, and we've fucking gone at each other hard before. Yeah.
Not aggressively, but it's very authentic. There's no sugarcoating.
Zero sugarcoating.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know how there's friends you have, and you need to have an honest conversation with them, but you don't feel comfortable enough in the friendship to have it, so you don't have it, or it doesn't go where it needs to go. And with us, it's just like, hey, fucko, bang.
It's his between the eyeballs.
Yeah, there'd be nothing that I would be concerned to raise with you.
No, vice versa. Yeah.
And that's rare, I think.
Yeah. And like most of the mornings here in Bali, we've been just basically waking up pretty early. It's not like a party holiday. We've had a few drinks, but it's not like a party holiday. So we've been up pretty much 5:30, 6 o'clock most mornings, and we've been going down to the beach.
That's how you know when you're old, when regardless of
I know.
what time you go to bed, at 4:30 your eyes blink open, you're like, ugh.
I know. What the fuck am I meant to do now? But we've been going on the beach and doing like, big walks on the beach and just talking about life. And one of the recurring themes that keeps coming up in our conversations here is this it's this idea of joy and what it means to actually feel joy at this age when you're later in life. Like I'm 50, you're almost 50.
Mm.
And it's like once you've experienced all these things in your life, is it like from now everything just becomes fucking boring? Like
Mm.
that was our conversation around how the fuck do you find joy when you've had all the relationships, you've done all the things you've ever wanted to do, you've done all the travel, you've been rich, you've been poor, you've just all these things, and then what the fuck's the point?
Well, yeah, it's more. Yeah, I think we were talking about the fact that and I reckon a lot of people, like if you have a big audience that's in their late 40s to 50s and probably like have kids or whatever,
Mm,
I think this is a common thing that people would be experiencing. And we were talking about the fact that it's the loss of those firsts
mm,
at our age. Like you think about like your first kiss, your first car, your first major overseas trip, your
mm.
first jump out of a plane, your first motorbike ride, your first track day, like whatever it is people are into.
Yeah.
And it's coming to this realization, and I hope ultimately acceptance, that those firsts, like they're done.
Mm,
And so if you're still chasing that high of like that new variety of experience, you don't you're no longer getting it anymore. Or for me, that's what's happening. I'm not getting it anymore. So we were talking about like I'm a car enthusiast. I've had 36 cars since I was 18, and
mm,
I've reached this point now where I'm like, why? Like, why buy a different car? Like, I know what'll happen. I'll pick it up before I even park the thing in my garage. I'll be like, nah. And so
mm,
this thing that used to like do it for you now doesn't, and that keeps showing up in all these other areas of life,
mm,
and you're left with like almost like a bit of a grieving. So it just feels like you're like, fuck, how do I find and access joy and happiness?
mm.
Well, not where, because the answer's obvious.
It's
It's in the simple
Yeah,
things.
because ultimately, w- one of the things that happened is we were talking about um, two challenges, one that I'm going through, one that you're going through at the moment on the beach this morning.
Mm.
And I remember it was you or me that said, dude, we're walking on the beach. It's fucking 30 degrees, 7 a.m. We feel awesome. Our foot is in the water. It's just like
And having the deepest, best chat.
deepest, best chats about life. And I'm actually experiencing full fucking bliss and gratitude and joy now.
Mm.
So, and then this challenge that we're talking about that I'm going through, you were sort of saying that you can't just negate previous choices and previous experiences. Whereas I was like, well, you can. Because right now I'm living fucking awesomely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about the fact that uh yeah, that there's aspects of your life where you're not in your end result. And you were saying, well, no, right this second,
I am in my end
I am in
result.
my
Yeah.
result, which is fine.
Yeah. If you
It's
want to
fine if you want to.
the ostrich effect, just dig your fucking
Correct.
hands in the sand.
Like you are right in that particular moment.
Yeah.
If we weren't either projecting anxiety into the future or feeling, you know, anxious about the
Mm,
past, then in that exact moment, if we're fully present, we were in your end result.
yeah. And one of the other things that we both wanted to talk about, but we haven't actually yet, is this question came up of, what was it?
What were we wrong about?
What were we wrong about at this age? So,
Yeah.
if there's someone listening that's, I don't know, in their 20s or even 30s or whatever, it's like at this age of 50, what what were we wrong about?
So much.
I know. Well, I guess, do you know what? One of my first things that comes to mind for me is that I always thought that if I'll be specific, that let's say if I find the woman of my dreams, then everything will be easy.
Oh, there's not a part of that sentence
Oh,
that is true.
it's not. And I fully thought, I'm like, I went through all these relationships and, then finally found Nick, which I've talked to you guys about. We had a baby, we had a kid, now we've got a 2-year-old. And now looking back, it's like, fuck, man. Like, even when you find the girl or the partner or whatever that you have a lot of feelings for and you're in love with, fuck, man, it's not it's not roses and fucking butterflies, is it?
No, what was the word? Easy.
Easy. That
No relationship is easy.
No.
I mean, like, are we just going to do this bit by bit? So we'll cover this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cover this
Yeah.
one, but we don't want to spend too much time on it because, I'm
Yeah.
sure people that are doing stuff, they got shit to do.
Well, mate, people are going to be just ears glued
Yeah,
to your podcast.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, any relationship, and yeah, I get what you mean. Like, this question, I'm going to come at it from a point of view of like what I thought when I was like 20 versus now like
That's what we're
50.
talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
So, relationships being easy, fuck
No, once
no.
you've found the person that you want to be with,
It doesn't make a
nah,
difference whether
yeah.
it's the person or any relationship. Like, even the person you want to be with, like, fundamentally, I think what I've learned now, if I was giving myself advice, every human being brings with them their egoic flaws, which you know about,
Yeah.
right? So, wounded as kids, we define this identity for ourselves. We then make all our decisions based on those limiting beliefs, which aren't true. It's almost hard enough for a person to even know themselves,
Mm.
whether they're functioning from their true self or their false beliefs.
Well, it's hard, but I reckon it's easy because if you're in your truth, you feel, even though it's challenging, you feel like you're moving forward and you're being pulled forward. Whereas I feel like if you're moving forward from an egoic place, it feels like you're moving forward, but you're pulling a ball and chain behind you.
That might be your experience. That's certainly not my experience of how my ego works.
Really? Okay. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No, because everyone's got a different egoic profile, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So fundamentally, regardless of how it shows up, the reality is that it's a person is dealing with their own shit. Then you add to the mix a second person
Whose egoic nature you add on.
whose egoic nature, A, can
Yeah.
be completely different to yours.
Mm.
B, they may not have the same awareness of the fact that it's there.
Yeah.
And then you now have two people trying to move to a common end result with completely different egoic beliefs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you love anyone, for that to be smooth as silk
Yeah.
is almost impossible without like conscious communication. And then chuck into it a little fucking 2-year-old brat that is wounding every day and creating her own ego.
Well, that's the key,
just
isn't it?
running the show.
Yeah. So ultimately, you have to both find ways of consciously communicating.
Yeah, that's a podcast
In
in
itself.
itself.
Okay. So I guess that was one of my things. What's one of your things that you were totally wrong about?
What I was totally wrong about as a 20-year-old, I guess when I was 20, my parents were 50.
Mm.
And I had an assumption that they just had it all figured out.
Mm.
That when you become 50, that you're a wise person.
Yeah.
Who is just, has the answers. And then now being 50 and dealing with 50-year-olds, or like, that sort of age group around me, and even my parents who are now in their late 70s, and you're like, "Oh my God, you've fucking some of you guys have fucking nothing figured out.
Mm.
You're as emotionally stunted as when you were 20,
Yeah.
or you haven't resolved any of that stuff. You're dealing with people who are engaging with you like fucking school kids."
Are you talking about 70-year-olds or
No, I'm talking
50-year-olds?
about adults in
Adults in
general,
general,
like,
yeah.
even the 50-year-olds, like, some of the conversations that I have with people, and I'm listening to it and just going, "Oh my God, like, you might as well be 18 the way you're
Yeah.
talking." Like,
Mm.
the shit that's occupying your mind, the problems that you're giving awareness to, like, it's all you don't have anything sorted out.
No, no. Yeah, but I mean, most people, I reckon most people our age, in my experience anyway, are still searching for that feeling of having it worked out, or still searching for what's the like, well, not what's the point, but searching for that thing of I'm safe. Like, I don't need to hustle, or I don't need to fucking I'm safe in my own self, and I think not many people have that feeling of safety.
I don't know if any people,
Yeah.
if any person has that before they depart.
Mm,
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's like some magic tick over where that all comes good. I mean, I know there's parts of my life that I fully have sorted out. There's other parts of my life where I still don't feel fantastic
mm,
about it.
mm.
Um, and those areas can also shift and change as other parts,
Yeah.
when you focus on one part, you're like, that comes good, then other parts don't become good or whatever. Um, but yeah, like in terms of any thought of like, oh, 50 happy ending, sunshine and rainbows, it's like,
No,
fuck no.
no, no. And, well, I'm trying to think of what's another thing for me that I thought well, even that I thought by 50, I remember when I turned 40, I was like, surely the next 10 years, like, I'll be 50 in 10 years, and fuck, man, surely my life's gonna be sorted. Like, that's fucking I mean, I feel more confident in my own body than I've ever felt. Um, I feel more confident where I'm heading than I've ever felt, but still, fuck me, man, this is still hard yakka. And interestingly enough, like, me and Steve have gone very different paths in our life.
Mm,
And one of the things I always thought, because Steve has always had this ability to create financial wealth.
mm,
You've been really fucking unbelievable at creating financial wealth for yourself. And me, myself, finance is something that I've always either had, not had, but I just never really worked it out properly. Um, and but funny enough, both of us live the same lives, and both of us have almost similar challenges.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I would probably say is another one for me is, that I got wrong is that money solves problems.
Mm.
So,
But for some, but there's so many people out there that think that it does.
nah, blah, blah, like my honest answer is that it buys you different problems.
Yeah.
So I think money or finance to a point overcomes problems.
Mm.
And in fact, there was a happiness index done that basically compared like happiness levels from people that earn like a poverty line, happiness levels of people who make like it was a while back. So back then it was like 100 grand a year, which is
Mm.
probably the equivalent of like 150 now, whatever. And then happiness of like a millionaire and the happiness of a billionaire. And fundamentally, what it showed is that there's a big change in happiness when you
Mm.
go from like poverty to like 100 grand.
Mm.
And that's fundamentally because of Maslow's hierarchy, right? Because you can buy food, you can buy
Yeah.
shelter, you have security, you can live day to day and not be concerned for your well-being.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you start to go like well above it, like the difference in happiness from like a millionaire to a billionaire is fundamentally not that much more than if you make like 100 or 200 grand a year. Because what happens is money doesn't change. It doesn't change your problems. It just lets you rock up to those problems in a better car.
In a better car.
And it creates more problems
Mm.
because in order to actually create money and to have money, unless you win lotto,
Mm.
you normally have to do it through either a business or being quite high up in a corporate environment,
Yeah.
which means that you have more responsibility, more headaches. If you run a business, you've got like accounting, finance,
Staff, all
HR,
that. Yeah.
staff, this, that, the other. There's risk. So I guess I can guarantee anyone listening that's young, like there's no free ride.
No.
Like everything has a cost. And if you want money, the cost will often be your fucking well-being and your stress levels. And then if you don't want money, the cost will be the level of lifestyle that you can have.
You can have, yeah.
But
Mm.
as someone who went down the path of wealth accumulation and has had it, retained it, and been there,
Mm.
what I was wrong about is it
It definitely
it,
makes life easier.
it makes life easier, but it doesn't create happiness. And
No.
that's what I was talking about before.
Yeah.
Like right now, you know, in the past, like shit that used to, get it off me, like, oh, I'll go and get a bigger house or a nicer house or
Yeah,
whatever.
same with the cars. It just doesn't
It just doesn't do it. Like,
No.
it's like I've climbed that mountain. I've looked over the top, and it's like, oh, okay, well, it actually doesn't change anything. So then now at 50, everything is shifting for me because I'm like, okay, well, if I've already been down this road and I know that more in general is not the solution,
Then what
then we
is?
got to go in.
Yeah. And that's the thing is ultimately once it doesn't matter how much digging you do, there's always going to be something new to look at. Well, I mean, in my experience anyway, probably yours as well. But it's funny because I feel like that once you get one thing sorted out and you've worked something else or you worked something out in your own life and you're like, fuck, you get this like week or a month of like, this was so nice. And then you get punched in the face with someone else. There's something else. It's like, all right, here's the next thing you got to work on. It's fucking annoying.
Well, there's a thing. So Kat, my wife, she's a coach, and she talks a lot with her clients about like the wheel of life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would have seen it before, so you've got like,
I think most people know about the wheel of life. Yeah.
So you got health, wealth, relationships, purpose, career. I can't remember what the other one is. But it talks about like if they're all a 10, then your wheel will smoothly roll along.
Yeah.
And if you've got some that are a 2 and some that are an 8, like you've got this clunky fucking thing.
Yeah.
And equally to that concept is this other one, which is where focus goes, energy flows. So you got to put your focus somewhere. So if you're focusing on one thing, then the others can come off the boil.
Yeah.
So it is hard to like the amount of energy and effort that's required to maintain, conscious, healthy relationships with both your spouse and your kids. And at the same time, put your health forward where every morning, you're moving your body and you're taking care of your body and maintain your finances and find time for you and, do something career-wise that, brings purpose or whatever. Like it's a fucking lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And it's easy to get spurts of inspiration, but to consciously and constantly be working on, in all those areas to keep flow, you need a plan.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you know what? With all this stuff that you're talking about, I feel like and I'm not having a go, but it feels very.
You should have a go because let's fucking go.
No, but it feels very surfacey because where you started is that ultimately where happiness lives is within. And then you started yapping on about the fucking wheel of life, which is all surfacey stuff.
Not at all.
It totally is.
Dude, if you
when you go
think
with
that your health and your relationships are surfacey,
they are surfacey.
No, they're not. That's where the gold is.
No. Well, so you were talking about going within, and when in my experience, when I go within, There's literally nothing else in there. There's no relationships in there. There's no wealth. There's no health. When I go within, I'm like, fuck, when it comes down to it, ultimately the only thing I'm ever going to have is the way that I view myself, and that's going to be a reflection of how the outside world views me. So
Oh,
that's where I thought you were going with
no,
going within.
I don't. But see, that also will go back to the fact that our Enneagram or egoic models are very different.
Yeah.
I don't. There's for me anyway. There's no like internal part of me at the moment anyway that I feel like I need to go in and look at. For me, what I'm talking about at 50 for me anyway is understanding that like that true happiness comes from connection with my family,
Mm.
connection with
Yeah,
friends.
but what about connection with you?
Connection with me comes from all the other bits that I do. So when I'm moving my body at gym, when I'm boxing,
Mm.
when I take time to walk, when I walk on the beach every morning,
Yeah.
I don't walk with headphones. I walk alone.
Yeah.
Um, and that connected time with myself is when I check in and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, self care is
Mm.
definitely in it. But what I was getting at before you so brutally attacked me on the air was when you said you do something for a month and you get punched in the face,
Mm.
that's the rest of your wheel of life kicking in the fucking ass. So you have to, it's very difficult to maintain focus on all the
All
elements
the
of it
elements.
so
Yeah.
that it flows.
Yeah. And so, all right, so let's take everything out of
Nah,
that.
I'm leaving. This interview's over.
So let's say we take away all the health, all the cars, all the wealth, we take away everything, right? Your wife leaves you, your kids fuck off, my wife leaves you, my kids fuck off.
Hmm.
I lose everything. You're right.
We're in Bali.
and one of and so you lose everything. You lose all your fucking hard-earned money or whatever.
Oh my God. How loaded was that?
No, let's like seriously, you
Okay.
lose everything,
Yep.
right?
I lose everything. So I've got no wife,
No
no
wife,
kids.
no kids. You got
Sounding pretty good so far.
yeah.
I'm
you
kidding. I'm
you
kidding.
lose all your money, like for anyone, right? And
Hmm.
then after you lose all that, what is there left? Like when you're on the street, you've lost everything,
Hmm.
and you're, what's left? The only thing that's
There's me.
left, you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when
When that happens.
no, I'm not saying when that happens because
Yeah.
it would never happen because you've hit some pretty fucking hard roads. Um, well, you have, but what you would call a fucking hard road, like I think other people will go, fuck me, I'd love to be in that situation. Well, in terms of wealth,
The financial
the
side only.
financial
Right.
side, yeah.
Okay.
Um, so, but yeah, I mean, that's ultimately what you look at is what's left at the end of the day is the relationship you have with yourself.
Yeah.
And if that's not strong,
But hang on.
then you're
But which
fucked.
part of yourself are you talking about? Are you talking about purpose or are you talking about how you feel about yourself as a person?
How you connect to the inner aspects of you,
Yeah.
as in
So how do you
how
do that?
how do I do that?
Yeah. Because you said that you do that and I don't. So I'm asking how you do that.
Well, you do. We both do.
Yoga.
Yoga. No, we both do it in very. It's reflection and uh, learning about how you go out into the world and how you directly affect the outside world. That's how I look at it, and I try and I look at myself as someone that's incredibly gentle, incredibly loving. I look at myself as someone that has the ability to, within myself, shift the outside world, which ultimately what it comes down to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much enlightened, and yeah. But no. So that's yeah. So anyway, I mean, we're probably going on about it a bit too much, but It's been,
But you want depth.
of
You don't
course you
want
want depth.
surface.
No,
So this is good.
yeah,
We're
this is
going
good.
in.
I know
We're
we're
going
going in.
in.
Yeah, man, we're going in. So, but wait, let's stick to this little process that we got. All right, so they're the things that
Okay, so we've covered the fact that
yeah,
one of
money
the things
doesn't.
that I got wrong was that money solves your problems
Yeah, one of the things
and
I
makes
got
you happy.
wrong is that when you find the right person in
It's
a
easy.
relationship, life's going to be
Yeah.
easier.
One of the ones that I got wrong is
Yeah,
that by the time you're 50, you've got it all sorted out.
yeah. And then I guess one of the other things I got wrong is, well, I mean, I learned this the hard way, but when you're going forward towards something, and anytime I've actually put this on my wall, anytime I say it'll work out or it's going to be okay, it's never going to fucking work out, and it's never going to be okay.
Okay.
As in, she'll be right, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I get it.
that whole
You,
Aussie thing,
yeah.
the she'll be right, mate, is fucking bullshit. That's one part about the Aussie culture that I've definitely learned that's total bullshit, because she fucking won't be right.
No, she'll be right is the same as saying, I can't be fucked having a conversation or having a plan or thinking about this. So
Mm,
I'll just let fate sort it out.
exactly. And fate does sort it out, but unfortunately, probably most likely not in the way that you want it to.
Mm.
Yeah. And then what was the other thing we are going to talk about? It was oh, we were going to talk about friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we sort of did at the start.
Yeah, we sort of did at the start. I mean, we can keep going. How long have we been going for? 30 minutes.
Mate, that's a pretty standard podcast.
Yeah. I reckon if we went any more, we'd just be yapping on for the hell of it.
They can always switch off.
Yeah, they could switch off. But, and now imagine now they're probably sitting there going, are these guys going to talk about anything
I'm
else?
about to drop the best one of the lot,
No.
and people right now are like their finger was almost going to pause you because you were sort of yabbering on about
Yeah.
nothing for a bit.
So you're going to drop something?
Going to drop something absolutely
All right,
amazing.
let's set it up. So if you're about to drop something amazing,
Mm.
I reckon I might drop something as well, which will be better than that.
Okay.
All right, you go first.
It's actually not that amazing. No, one of the things I was dead wrong about is when you are 50, inside your broken body, because when you're 50, shit starts to hurt and your joints don't work as well and all that stuff.
Speak for yourself, mate.
Well, I'm ripped, so I still take care of it, but I know definitely my body doesn't function the way it did at 20 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something I didn't know. It wasn't I was wrong, I just didn't know that inside your brain, you actually don't age.
Mm.
So, for example, like the other night, we went to Mexicola
Ah,
in Canggu, and like it was just full of like 22-year-old kids just partying, and we were 100% like the weird old men sitting at the
100%.
bar.
We were the oldest dudes in the bar.
But inside, I didn't feel old. Like
No.
I know externally, people were probably looking at us going, "Fuck, like what are the dads doing here?" But you don't feel that way
No.
inside.
No.
So it's a weird experience to like still want to fucking boogie and still want to like have a drink and still party. But there's that part of you that goes, well, I kind of can't because I'm going to get judged because what the fuck am I doing here with all these 20-year-olds? I never expected that component where I still, I guess, keep, well, in my case anyway, this super level of immaturity. Because I always say, like Kat always says to me, my wife, your default position is you're just a fucking child.
Yeah.
And when I have to go into business mode and be serious, that's like me having to work.
Mm-hmm.
But given the easiest opportunity, I will always take a weird, like a serious conversation back to some ridiculous joke.
Yeah.
Like a kid.
Yeah.
So that was something I didn't expect because my parents at 50, they were kind of like boring as fuck.
Well, that's what we thought. but maybe they looked at us and were like, I still feel like a kid. So who knows? But
Yeah.
I definitely remember my parents when they were 50 looking at them going, ugh, my God,
Well,
that's so old.
yeah, like I know, my dad at 50, like he wasn't riding motorbikes, he
Mm,
wasn't going to gym, he wasn't
no.
boxing, he wasn't,
Yeah,
racing
ripped and
cars
looking,
and
no.
like just doing childish shit like what I do.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, that one, I guess I had a predefined expectation of what 50 looked like through the viewpoint of my parents and their peers.
yeah.
And I look now at us when we hang out as a group and I'm
Mm,
like, it's nothing like
no,
what they were like at 50.
no.
It's
It's
way
definitely
more youthful, way more
totally,
energy, way more. Yeah.
totally agree. Totally agree. All right. Well, my one is awesome.
Okay.
Um,
You're a humble guy.
yeah, thanks, man. So my, I reckon the biggest thing, fuck, what was it? I literally just had it in my head. Um,
Was it that you thought erections would stay like hard and solid all the way through your 50s and you were completely wrong?
no, I still get a couple of hard-ons a week, I reckon. I do all right.
Yeah, good.
Um, but wait, what was it? That at 50?
There's no rush, mate. Your listeners have got
No,
all
I
fucking
know,
day.
but I did say it was going to be a mic drop, and I lost the mic drop. So maybe,
Maybe you lost a mic.
well, we're not using a mic here, but yeah, the biggest. It's actually left my mind. I know that when we're going to stop record, so maybe I'm going to have to do another podcast on it, whatever that mic drop was.
We can just press pause, gather your thoughts, and then keep going.
No, I don't think you can. Can
Surely
you
you
push
can.
pause? No, it just got stopped. There's no
Oh,
pause.
no.
I know, man. But either way, guys, had my best mate on, fucking Stevie Buchler.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. Good combos. And guys, we'll see you at the next episode of Life Dilemmas. And
Dad stuff.
that's right. Catch you later.